You guys know that we love the ZV-1, the camera that we're filming on right now. It's compact, pretty much dummy-proof, and just a great storytelling camera. The one beef that we've had with it, and it's been a popular opinion, is the 24mm lens. My arm is like pretty much extended right now, and you can just fit Kurtis and I in it. It's been our one beef with the camera, until now.
Can you hear that back there? That's an anti-mask protest. Unbelievable. Notice how you can see this entire alley right now? That's because we've been filming on the brand new, actually I don't know if it's that new, but we've been filming on the Ulanzi wide-angle lens adapter for the Sony ZV-1, and it makes a huge difference. This is before, 1 second.
Keep going, keep spinning. You got this.
Anytime
Almost
now.
there. Almost there.
It's quite the filter thread,
Oh,
actually.
oh, whoa, okay. It's on there good.
This is the before without the lens, and this is after with the wide angle. It's a pretty significant difference.
You can see this whole logo on the building up here.
Chelsey's not the best at rollerblading.
Hey!
So now we gotta go downhill, and I'll be your brakes. Come here.
No, I got railing, I'm cool.
This is probably our most favorite vlogging camera. As you just saw from us zipping around Calgary here, this is like the easiest thing for us to take vlogging. When it comes to hauling a big camera around with a huge mic on top and everything, it gets overwhelming and it's kind of uninspiring, to be honest. We always like to take this around, but the 24mm kind of drives us nuts. We gotta like really stretch out like this when we're vlogging. But now we'll just take the Ulanzi lens here, which there's actually 2 pieces to it. We'll talk about in a second. There's a little double-sided tape thing that they have on this side. So all you do is stick this on and that gives you the filter threads. Then you can take the lens, screw it on. Lots of filters, hold on. Just like that. And there it is, there's your wide angle lens. I guess it almost like doubles the length of the lens that's there, so it makes it a little bit bigger, but honestly, I bet you I could still fit this in my pocket, no problem. The fact that it doesn't take away from the portability of it is probably the biggest pro to me. And the wide angle, of course. So Ulanzi actually was nice enough to send us this little tripod here. So I guess if you didn't have the wide angle lens on, you could probably use this to stick it out even further, but then you look like a cheesy tourist, so don't do that. But it has actually come in handy for us when we've been out and about, like you just saw. Tighten that down, you can just put it down anywhere. That's how it works. How informative was that?
Unbelievable.
Now the other feature of this adapter that I wanted to show you guys is the fact that this wide angle lens pops off and now you have a 52mm macro lens, which is really cool. So I'll insert a couple photos of the macro lens here. You've had enough for today?
Pull me, feed me tacos.
You've had enough?
I've earned my tacos.
We are back from our first little vlog taking this lens out, and there is a few things that I do need to talk about this lens before you go rush out and buy it. And the first is that if there is any dust on this lens at all, like this is probably the second time I used it, and there was just a little tiny bit of dust on the lens. When you shine it into the sun and where you're facing into the sun, where I was backlit or something like that, you could see every single speck of dust and the sun did not look good at all. However, once we stopped and had it properly cleaned, made sure there was no dust on it, the image was very sharp and looked very good, and I was very, very impressed. But that's probably just because there's 2 lenses on top of the lens itself. So having dust on 2 lenses on top of the lens, it's probably bound to happen that there's going to be a little bit of quality loss. I actually thought that it was going to make the image kind of blurry and probably a little bit mushy just having all that glass on top. But I'm actually really impressed with it. After it's clean, of course, the image looks very sharp and very usable. Even with all those photos that we took, I noticed that the center of the image was still very sharp, and I didn't see any vignetting around the edges. However, I did notice that the edges were getting a little soft and they weren't as crisp around the edges. I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you're using this for a landscape photo or something, you could probably just use the 24 and stitch them together rather than use this wide angle. Again, The center is going to be really sharp. It's just the edges that are a little bit blurry. You have to remember that this is a vlogging lens. It's not a pro photography wide angle lens, although you could use it for that. For vlogging like this lens is absolutely perfect. I love it. I can't wait to use it more often. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch this vlog and see if you can tell when I had this lens off and when I had it on. I bet you're not even going to be able to tell the difference, except for the one when I'm facing the sun and you can see all the dust. But after it was clean, I bet you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Even now, I'm filming on it right now, and it is very, very sharp. So let's just talk about the price really quickly. This adapter is available on Amazon for only $110 Canadian. That's like 75 bucks American or something, and it is extremely reasonable. If I'm comparing this to my Sony a7 III, to get a wide angle like this is like minimum $1,000, if not more. I don't even think there's a lens that exists that is this wide that comes in at an f1.8 aperture. They're all gonna be at least f2.8 or higher. So to have this wide angle at f1.8 is amazing, especially for just that $100. But if that's still not good enough for you, don't forget that there's still the macro. So when you screw the wide angle lens off, you have this macro lens that you can get really cool and interesting shots with. Again, with my Sony a7 III, that's gonna be at least another $1,000. So lastly, I just wanna thank Ulanzi for sending me this lens. However, I do wanna let you know that they are not paying me to do this video, and they have not seen this video before it comes out. So all of these thoughts are my own. That's why I did wanna mention the stuff about the dust and the softer edges. But again, for a vlogging lens, are we gonna use this? Abso-freaking-lutely. I can't wait to use this more often, and I love that we can take it out on our Sony ZV-1 and not have that 24mm frame. We can have this professional, big, huge wide angle and still have it at f2.8, still keeping this compact. I love it, and I can't wait to use it more often. Thank you guys so much. So if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. It actually helps us out. And if you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see any more of our weekly vlogs, be sure to hit that subscribe button so we can see you guys next week. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.